Everybody, Rob Anderson, Clean Power Wash, Salisbury, Maryland. I want to show you some of the trailer that we're redoing right now. Alright, so let me just back up here. This is our 6x10 trailer. I used this for years and years. Then grew up to a dual axle, 16 footer. Much beefier trailer than this. But with the way work is going right now, this is going to be rebuilt into basically a single-story house rig, or we'll throw a 24-foot ladder on there, but just a single-man rig. I am going to put a 5.5 gallon a minute on the other side of it, but want to show you now that we've got the plumbing basically done. So for right now, we've got our bulk tank, 2-inch 90. That brings it down here. I just put a little piece of floor mat or whatever. It's that foam stuff. So that way it'll go ahead and pad that. Come down to basically a 1.5 pipe. These are little bushings. I'll show you here. Not like that, like this one. And that'll go into another one that we're going to work on. But basically I like these two. You can push them in. You don't have to cement them if you don't want to early on. Because of the length of one of the hoses, I did have to cement it, and also just for getting rid of any trapped air. So I've got this set up here with my 3-way valve. That line right now, we'll actually turn it this way so it comes here. But once we set up the 5.5 gallon a minute machine, we're going to run that through the bottom of the tank out the other side to where the other machine will be. This right now is just going to be a dump valve, or for rinsing hands, filling a bucket, whatever. We got our bowl filter. I will put a Y filter before the pump on that one. So we got that coming through here. I did put this section inside of some pipe so that if it's rubbing up against that or this sidewall, I just didn't want it to get damaged. And then ended up dual feeding this one. So we've got 1-inch line, 1 inch here. It does require me to kind of get flow going first for really to see any advantage of that. But again, the big reason why I'm dual feeding it is because we kept having leaking issues. I'll show you background here. So we had actually plumbed it to the back side of it, which does make it easier if you want to plug in one side and then put your unloader on the other. That way you're able to, if the unloader fails, you can take it off a lot easier without having to undo all your plumbing. As far as, so on this side, basically it's 3/4 inch barbs to a 3/4 inch line. The main line though is 1 inch all the way. And at the end of the day, really, if that 3/4 doesn't get tons in it, it's fine too. Got our gas tank. I'm going to put that right there and put the battery box. I'm going to do a bucket test in just a minute. Again, I've only got about probably 30 or 40 gallons of water in the IBC tote, so not a whole lot forcing water out. We will end up strapping a 24-foot ladder just from the top of the tote onto the back rail, just in case. And then we've got this A-frame for the bulk of whatever else this rig's going to be used for. You can see our old signs. Pretty simple, basic signs on there, but does what it needs to. There's the number, what we do, and the website. Got our surface cleaner. Haven't 100% decided if that's where I want to keep it or I might set it down in there. I don't know. Actually, we'll probably end up moving the ladder further up so that we're less likely to spill bleach from there. The lines right now are just going through the top, which that's going to go through one of those tops where we'll just drill a hole somewhere in here. Probably going to just do it in that though. That way we reduce the chances of bleach spilling. See, we got it numbered 1791. And have not put the Hudson float valve on this trailer yet. Right now you'll see, let me just not trip over anything. We've got our fill line, bypass, and the flush line for our injector here. Planning on basically just setting a putting a 3-way splitter on the injector so we can actually flush it out at the end of the day. So yeah, and got our handy dandy fire extinguisher. if you haven't already, guys, put one of those on there. Or really, DOT is going to tell you that you need 2 of them. It's a $10 insurance policy. You know, we've had times where that GX690, the one of the solenoids went on it, had a little electrical fire on it, and without that, the whole machine probably would have been toast instead of just needing the solenoid and eventually a new fuel pump. You may notice that it looks like the pump oil is a little bit low. We are currently on the, it's jacked up a little bit. So I'm going to check that once we actually level it out, but I'm pretty sure we're still good on there. As far as the hose lines and everything, I am going to be mounting a pressure block. Basically have the jumper hose come to about here and then be able to quick connect on and off of that. That way this reel will just be used for holding. Now certainly we can run the pressure through there the way that it is right now. I really want to try and get away from having to deal with the swivels, just because of the pain that can be sometimes. The other thing though, I mean, I will still leave this on so that if need be, I can take that jumper hose, put it on there. If we just needed to rinse something real quick, we can do that and then be able to then quick connect it right up here. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it with this trailer. I am going to do a bucket test in just a minute to, yeah, just to make sure that I'm getting the right amount of flow through there, and also to get all the air bubbles. That bowl filter, in order to get the air bubbles out, I had to unscrew this, and then basically get it so that, I mean, this thing was almost completely full of air. It's, again, big reason to throw the Furnico should be your first piece off of here. Or just an extension of PVC to about here and then do a Furnico. Because this way, if this was fixed and something starts leaking, I've got to basically break everything apart, which is no good. With this, all I got to do is undo this or undo that, and I can take the whole thing off. I probably am going to replace this hose. I don't like it. It's a pain to work with, and you can see it's not shoved up on there as far as it should be. But so, and this rig's pretty much done. We'll throw the 5.5 gallon a minute machine on there, probably somewhere right in that back corner. And I'm going to shorten the supply line. We got the straps right now just holding things until we get everything secured. So have a great day.